wanted to take us all through reflecting on the idea that love is everywhere. So as we enjoy our dinner tonight, we're going to be playing some short audio pieces for you and taking you through activities that show you just how many ways love is all around us. This first one is called Love Through Community.
Love is in community.
Love is in community. We both come from huge Filipino families, and that's like our first community. I can still remember the first time I went to her family Christmas in New Jersey. Almost everyone, I feel like, asked me, like, are you used to, like, you know, there's so many people here, and there were. And I remember telling them, like, oh no, I grew up with family gatherings like this. Like, we'd all get together for Christmas, we'd all get together for birthdays, and it was just, like, huge amounts of family in a small house. And it made me miss those days. It made me realize how powerful that was to have that model of, like, huge family in my life growing up, and then to also find value in it again as an adult and go, okay, we get, like, it does take effort, it takes action, and I should, like, do my part to help keep it going too.
AJ is from here, I'm relatively new here, and so the way that I connect with people, it has to be intentional, and I have to make time for it, and if I don't, then we're just not going to be connected. So I think that's influenced him to play a more constant role, and I'm more of like a jump in there and try to rally people to do different things kind of person. I thought you had to do so much to provide value or have a role in community, and to say that you belonged somewhere, you had a membership tax to pay. Put a lot of pressure on myself to be the organizer, to like lead change, and if I'm not, I feel like nothing is happening, but AJ does a whole lot of influence without playing that role at all. And I could learn from that a lot. And I think just showing up now is hard and worthy, and just like being present for everyone else is so meaningful. It means so much that everyone showed up here.
I think I really believe in the idea that it takes a village. I think a lot about, like, how many people, whether they know it or not, have contributed to me just being the person I am today. And so I think it means a lot to me, for like people to just be there to share this, like, deeply personal moment. Thank you for being here.
All of you, in some way or another, have had an effect on Christine and AJ, whether you know it or not. So now we are going to play a little game to think about how we each affect one another. So what's going to happen? I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to shout out the first person who comes to mind, their first and their last name. So to practice, why don't we all practice shouting out our own name, first and last name, okay? So on the count of three, just shout, easy one, just shout your own name. One, 1, 2, 3. All right, our voices are warmed up. We're feeling ready? All right. So the first question is, who was the fastest person in your elementary school? Okay, next one.
name of the person we haven't talked to in a while?
And a one-sentence toast to them if you got it.
Wonderful. I'm gonna toast to my childhood friend, Roy Riggin. She's one of the bravest, like strongest people I've ever known. And our lives have taken very divergent paths, and I miss her a lot. And yeah, cheers to that.
My preschool best friend, Matthew Bartlett, we kind of diverged early in elementary school. No idea where he is right now, but I hope he's doing well. Love you, man.
My friend Brianna Shoxy. I've talked to him for a while. Yeah, very funny laugh. When he laughed, we all laughed, and I laughed.
Here's to my beautiful wife, Anna. We got married 5 years ago. We have a third kid on the way, and I hope to see her again soon.
Cheers.
Hi, I want to give a shout out to an old dear friend of mine, Jamie Tronalone, who took a very different path in life than I did. She went more on the spiritual path, and I went more on the corporate path many years ago. And these days I feel a lot more drawn to the spiritual path that she took, and perhaps there's a reunion in the future.
Cheers to that.
All right, any last
Pastor wants to say something.
Cheers to my kumare, Tess and Eric. We haven't spoken for a long time because they have moved to Tracy, and they are AJ's godmother and godfather. So cheers to you guys. And you.
Love you too.
Fantastic. Thank you all so much. I'll be back up for the next. All right, as you enjoy your meals, we've got another short audio piece coming your way featuring Christine and AJ. So please give a listen.
I see love in your presence.
AJ is a calming presence. He brings my energy down when it's riled up. And so if I have a frenetic energy about me, just sitting with him, even if we're not talking to each other, even if we're literally doing nothing together, but we're in the same place, and it will calm me down.
This past week, she was having some anxiety, and so she came to me and just like rested her head on my shoulder, and she said immediately everything just kind of melted away, and like I was at peace. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize, I didn't know, like that it can be that easy. This is a trope of just men just wanting to solve problems, and I'm in an engineering field, it's all we do. And so I definitely fall victim to that, where I'm just like, what do I do? What do you want me to do? I can do it, I'll lift it, I'll break it, I'll fix it, whatever. And then realizing like, I just need to be there, physically, like present, and that can mean everything.
He's always been that way for me, and he just didn't know it. Like, he didn't know how valuable his presence was for me alone. So just seeing how much, like, me showing up for AJ before a big meeting or a big conversation that he's about to have, and then feeling that validation of how much value that was for him, I'm like, oh, I guess that's true for other people then. And I think that's true too in a smaller sense for someone is sick. Just showing up, even through a text message and saying like, hey, how you doing? You're still sick? It's been 2 days, just checking in. Like that kind of thing is really powerful and underrated. And I think I could learn a lot from just the value of just being with people.
As so many of you wrote in your RSVPs, it's the little things, not the grand gestures, that mean the most. It's someone knowing your coffee order or bringing you slippers. So now we are going to play a game to share some love with the people at your tables. We're calling this a compliment off, a competitive compliment off. So in a moment, not now, but in a moment, you're gonna turn to the person beside you and exchange compliments. But the catch is, you cannot smile and you cannot laugh. So the first person to smile or laugh loses that match. If you win your pairing, you'll have to pair up with another winner at your table until each table has one winner. Now, that winner gets a prize. And that prize is they get to have first dibs on a piece of the centerpieces that we've all been admiring. So when you are ready, turn to the person next to you and begin the compliment tournament. All right, as you are enjoying your dessert, we have yet another small audio
I see love in acts of service.
I see love in acts of service. We both give a lot of acts of service, but I think a nice note is that we have learned to receive acts of service more as a result as well. We're learning how to accept love for ourselves, that we're worth it, that we're worthy of someone doing something for us. I had a medical procedure that I needed driving to, and AJ drove, I don't know how long it takes to drive from work, but he drove during rush hour traffic to come pick me up, drive me to the facility, and do nothing, like literally just wait until he got a call that it's time to pick me up. And I saw that as such hardship because it was so early, it was so far away. This was entirely for me. But then I think about like my parents picking me up from the airport, like driving me kind of everywhere, friends' houses, school things. Even when I was an adult and needed to go to different cities in the Northeast, it's like, why are you taking the train? We will drive you. I think I was always appreciative of that. The change here is that I was like, oh, I should have more gratitude for it.
She's stating like she's made each of my birthdays really special. I'm not the type to celebrate for myself at all. I just feel really awkward about it. And so, like the first year we were together, Christine organized like a whiskey tasting, and she invited some of my friends, and I got to taste a whole bunch of different whiskeys, like 6 or 7, in the afternoon, which was a great buzz for all of us. Christine does not like the taste of whiskey; she thinks it tastes like poison, and that's okay, because it does. It's an acquired poison taste, but she did that for me, and like I really appreciated the fact that she would be so thoughtful, and so learning to accept acts of service, it still feels weird to me. Like, oh, I haven't done enough to deserve this. But I've learned to just like sit and marinate and just enjoy that someone is like doing something that I would appreciate, something that I wouldn't have done for myself.
So Christine and AJ, as you heard, are getting better at receiving acts of service, but they still have a long way to go. So for this next activity, and to help them practice accepting love in the form of acts of service, here is a game. I want each of you, or whoever feels inclined, to perform a personalized act of service for the bride and groom, knowing your personal knowledge of them. You all know them so well, so think of something personal to Christine or to AJ. So an example could be, you could bring Christine a lactate pill from the stomach aid section. Or knowing that AJ loves to hydrate, you could bring him a glass of water without him having to ask. The most personalized act of service will get a very special prize from the bride or groom. Once you think of it, go for it. Act your act of service and bring it to the bride and groom for them to judge.
Whoever comes first. Oh, that is not an act of service that I would like right now.
AJ, what do you think? Is this worthy of receiving an act of love?
I don't know. See, it's the first one, so it's like here's why.
First come, first win. Is this what you would deem an act of love? An act of service?
What? Look at me.
You're just prolonging the massage.
I mean, that's also fun. But what?
You got some very deep knots here. A couple of deep knots.
You know what? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's something that, you know, I like right now. I like that.
Thank you so much, Jeremy. You win Spam with Tootsie. You can also re-gift it. Take it, second taker. See Jake approaching, Joaquin.
I nailed it, yeah. Yeah, he gets it. It's 4 roses, perfect. It's enough points.
Joaquin, you get Spam. Gochujang flavor. Thank you so much for helping us learn how to do it. Does Christian want to also participate? We don't have any more prizes, but thank you.
I just hope you guys are enjoying watching that one right now.
Oh! Affirmation for television watching for something we like? Okay. That's a win on my end. I have no prizes for you though, so pride, appreciation is your prize. Thanks, Christian.
And thank you everyone for helping them. You have another one? We've got another one. Do you want to go to them?
You have to run because of the competition, I see.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, we have photos. These all look like nails.
Oh, I think this is suggested.
These are nail photos, so I think the sentiment is there. The actual the product is a little lacking, and I'm going to be a harsh judge and say, good try, no prize.
Last audio piece from the bride and groom to listen to, so give them your ears.
I see love in nature.
We take a lot of walks together, AJ and I. So we'll just walk by the creek and be like, oh, this tree, stunning. I can't believe the branches are bulging out that way. Oh, I see why, because they're trying to get light in that way. Beautiful. It's like we're at a fashion show.
Like randomly walking through SF, she'll say, oh, I love these trees. And like, trees are not something you think about when walking through San Francisco for sure, but trees are what catch our eye. So we're like, oh, I can't believe like in the Mission there are these trees, but then like in the Richmond they do this. Like just taking the time out to appreciate it, it helps like slow life down. Realize that like what's important.
And I think the act of stopping and noticing and appreciating is something that we can apply everywhere. You are appreciating something that just is, and that is such a hard thing to do, especially with people that you love, because sometimes you think you know better and you want to influence them, but to just love what is it's beautiful.
Have influenced them to be who they are today. You are the roots, the parts of the tree that you can't see on first blush. But what you don't always get to see are the flowers they bloom that are so fun and unique and worth sharing. So they have our permission to share more of the private side of their lives. Meaning, if anyone has questions, we are going to open up the floor to an AMA, an Ask Me Anything with Christine and AJ. So what's going to happen next is we're going to send a runner out with a microphone. If you have a question for the couple, please don't be shy.
My question is, what's to do with the centerpieces? I'm so curious. Great question. Great question. It's from Laura. that has nails, there's 3 designs, a small and a medium size. You get 1 small or 1 medium of a design. But that's just the winner from the compliment off. Everything else is up for grabs. So before the end of the night, if you'd like to claim your print or nails, or a banner outside. For the banners, come see me and AJ, so because there are only so many of those to give out. So that's the answer. Thanks, Laura.
Anybody else with questions? I need to see hands.
Congratulations again. My question is, how was the proposal like? Can you share that story?
Let's see. You've spent hours with us now, so you can tell one of us was crying the entire time. I barely got it out, but I got down on one knee on October 24th. Show us. And there's this thing, we were in Japan, and we were hiking, and we found a clearing, and there was a rock and a tree, and she's like, you just heard on nature, she loves trees, and she said, oh, I want to be that tree. She said, just like tall or something like that. And I said, then I'll be your rock. And so if I remember it right, I have it recorded only for us, but I revolved around that. So I said that you please be my tree, you'll give me shade because I run very hot, and you'll keep me calm and cool from the sun, and I'll be your rock, and I'll keep you steady, and I'll keep you warm, and I'll bring you fresh water when you're thirsty. I think there's a lot more crying, but that was the potatoes of it. Thank you.
After months of planning and getting all of your family and friends together from all those different circles, different eras of your life, how are you feeling about it right now? I would like an answer from each of you.
I'll go first. I've been telling folks who ask me, it's overwhelming to see, you can't visualize this moment. The first time we walked in here with all the tables done, it's like, this was a 2D PDF that we were sending back and forth and editing. The centerpieces were just stories, actually, about the relatives that we love and miss. And then the people that we all wanted to invite, we would invite, cast it a wide net, and then we put them down, you all down on tables, and now you're actually here. You can't visualize that. I've been trying to visualize it all week since I didn't cry. And then walking in, you see it, and then it hits you, and you can't, I don't know, it's like you can't be ready for it, and it's one of the greatest feelings I've ever had.
Any other hands?
I'll go and answer that question too. AJ and I haven't shared a ton about our relationship with everyone else, but I think that's because both of us are pretty introverted, and unless someone prompts us about us, we're not going to answer. Because it's like, oh, you don't need to know about us. You don't care. That's not important. But we're happy to share. We just don't have the permission to realize it's something people are interested in. And so, in a similar way, I have a lot of parts of my life here, from childhood, from school, from different work lives, from extracurriculars, from family, different family friends, new family, and it's weird because I access different points as different versions of myself. And to have everyone that's a loved one on all those different parts of myself and all this different love is like, it's all out in the open. I'm like, oh, you can see me. You can see parts that I've been not intentionally holding back, but aren't evident for everybody. And so it's weird, but a good weird because it's been such a good day and time this past week or so, and it's given me the permission to think like, oh no, mingling all the different parts of yourself and mingling all the ways in which you love people and they love you can actually bring out something really great. So it's been weird, but in an affirming, positive way. I like it.
congratulations to the two of you. I just want to know what's the first thing that attracted you to each other?
I don't know if this is the first thing about DJ. Can I answer a different question? Okay, I'll answer that question because it's a quick one, and then I'll answer a slightly different one that you didn't ask for. But the quick one is that he listened very attentively. He's such a passionate listener. So one of the first things that sounds like, I love trivia, I love history, I love knowing how, from a community perspective, different people change in a population. I want to eat it all up, especially about movies and television, but also local places. We were just walking by the stadium, which is not too far from here, and he was like, oh, did you know why it's built like this, why it's architected with an open-house way? Let me tell you a little bit about history. I did not think that that was a part of his regular arsenal of conversation, but I knew what he was doing because it was trivia and it lit me up because the next thing we walked by another place, he was like, oh, did you know? And I was like, oh, he's doing this for me. This is not normal for him. It's always very attractive to be with someone who's like that much of a interested and engaged listener. But the thing that I think is most differentiating that I found attractive about him is that AJ is nothing but a grower and a builder and he just wants to constantly evolve. For as much as the rock and tree metaphor is going for the both of us, he's very much the tree in that all he wants to do is be like, oh, I do want to learn. What's that about myself? Let me learn more about that. Let me not take this as feedback. Let me learn about this as a subject I've never heard about, and I can't wait to watch every YouTube video, read a book, and like read articles and bring it up into conversation. And I don't think that there's a ton of people out there that like genuinely just want to grow and learn and improve for the sake of it. He's not doing it for me. He just likes it, and I love that. It's very attractive.
Thank you, Mendez. I think in a literal sense, I will never forget you walking across the parking lot on our first date, and the first thing I noticed was your smile. So that's the literal one, just eyes wrinkling, just little, the eye smile. But I think for me, it had been a very long time since I had felt truly seen. I think in our conversations, I could tell that Christine was really listening. She understood the person that I was, even if I couldn't get the words out. She could tell from the way that I behaved. She could tell what I wanted to do, how I wanted to be, the person that I was at my core. And it had been so long since I'd ever really felt seen that I just felt so comfortable being myself around her. That was the most attractive thing that attracted me to her.
Anyone else? Somebody from this side of the room? Anybody from this side?
Sorry. Other than the obvious of these tables being named after movies that are near and dear to you, is there anything that is tonally or thematically there that kind of ties these films and kind of gives them a significance that made you want to choose them?
Well, the first fun fact is that these are the films that all of you chose. These are the top films in the RSVPs that came up that got more than 3 votes. We vetoed a couple, but we can talk offline about the ones we vetoed. But we also wanted to round it out, so we did add a few more in addition to the ones that are more than 3. Because actually, we had a lot of movie suggestions, and a lot of them just got 1 vote. So we added a couple that were just favorites that weren't more than 3, and those were different kinds of love. We very much champion, like, there are different kinds of romantic love, but also there are different kinds of friendship, familial, community, to nature, I mean, all the stuff that Pippa, which who, by the way, had orchestrated this whole program and did all of the audio and interviewing for us, and will continue to do that later. Sorry to steal your thunder to talk about that. We wanted to find movies that depicted that, because not all movies are as wide-ranging as what we think or hope that everyone thinks of love. It's
it's just so multifaceted, and we wanted to celebrate all the times.
Anybody else? Last one?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm a big believer in this one thing. I feel like when you meet someone that's your person, they have to touch your soul. And I want to know the moment that you first realized that your partner, your husband, wife, touched your soul.
I think I talked about this with many people today and yesterday, but I think just like life, it's not one moment. Life is a collection of moments. The moments build on themselves until one day you realize you can't be without someone. And it creeps up on you, and you don't realize it until the thought of it happens, the thought of it that they're not there the next day, the next morning, the next week, terrifies you, and you realize you found the one. And that finding the one is a choice every day. And she and I talked about it a few hours ago, because that's what we do. We choose each other every day. And so, unfortunately, there's not one moment, but the collection of 2 years and 2 months we've been together, that's the moment.
Well done.
Can we give it up one more time for the bride and groom? The feedback comes from me. Maybe if I go over here. As Christine alluded to, I'll be traveling around tonight with a microphone, recording all of us talking about the way that we receive love. It doesn't have to be romantic. We can talk about, as Christine said, the expansive nature of love. It can be familial, it can be from nature, from the animals or the children in your life. Think about it as broadly as you like. Now, it is my pleasure, if they're ready, to bring up the bride and groom to do some thank yous and some prepared remarks. No? She said no. We're gonna go back to music.